Joe Budden, the lyrical maestro and podcasting virtuoso, recently took it upon himself to opine on a news report that detailed the involvement of Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow. So this is what he had to say.
I did want to tell y'all, I picked up the newspaper the other day. This is my last bit of music news. And it was the Daily News, and Sheff G was on the cover of the Daily News.
Can we see it? It's over there.
It's over there. I'm not plugging them in the Daily News.
I just want to read it. Okay.
Well, you can read it. My Cliff Note version is, I'm not reading it in their words because when they word from our culture, it sounds, it's bad, but it sounds
but they
like
know how to
the
way
devil.
bad. Yeah,
It sounds like the devil.
The domestic terrorists.
Yeah.
All of that.
So what they said was Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow used money that they got from music, and people affiliated with them had some weapons, went to an op neighborhood, shot, this is in 2020, shot up the ops neighborhood, 6 people injured.
One died.
One person died. Mm. And allegedly they went to a fancy steak restaurant to celebrate this. And while they were celebrating, the shooter was gifted a chain of the dead guy's street name. I wanted to come in here. I won't say what I really want to say because I'm sure these people have friends.
Yeah.
But are you trying to get caught? Like, are you going out of your way to incriminate yourself or add clues to help all of y'all be taken down?
I think
that's exactly
at some point in time, I think this is representative of life, but you get so comfortable with your successes that you stop covering your bases. Like, even for drug dealers, whoever, at one point you was meticulous. You was watching your back. And you moving now. 7 years of just freedom and no hiccups. 8 years, 9 years. It's like cheating on your girl. You be covering your bases, but then you get comfortable when you cheat.
Oh, I got really bad in my later years.
You get what I'm saying? You get comfortable when you cheat. Man. You stop covering your bases that you used to cover before. And I think you just start getting lax in it, and you just start doing dumb. And you start doing.
I think it could be that. I also think it's these niggas think they smarter than they are.
That's what I mean.
I don't even mean in terms of covering yourself. It's just a lot of these niggas think, hey, as long as I didn't, because they tell on themselves on Instagram left and right. Mm. But a lot of niggas think, oh, because my page is private, only the people I allowed to see it is going to see this, or only if I put it in the close friends and like that. Like, man, bro, they monitoring all of your.
If they could read through teardrops, nigga, why wouldn't they read through the signs, the chain?
You watch these movies, you watch movies, and the movies don't show you the dumb.
There you go. Like,
you see Tariq do some on, or you seen Ghost do some on Power, and you really think you could do that? the dude,
them niggas was speaking.
Spoiler alert: the dude on Power threw his uncle off a roof the other day. And just got away with it. Like, it ain't cameras in this billionaire building that you got to go through. They ain't seen you leave right after he threw him off the roof. Such a doofy ass down. I think that people just think that the cameras is not on at all times. Like, you went to a dinner, you don't think nobody got you on camera going to the dinner.
Hold on. They were communicating in Pig Latin about the shit that they were doing.
Oh, that'll confuse them.
Way. They were. They
threw a little A at the end of it.
Pigs never heard of that one.
Ooh, hey, okay. Ooh, hey, okay. Yeah, who the fuck don't know Pig Latin?
Yo, listen, they figured out niggas was communicating in the 80s with numbers. You know how you replace the numbers with letters? Yes. They figured that out like cops.
Mm-hmm. Come on, it's the weekend. Let's get back to fun.
Okay, here you go again.
This is fun.
It is.
Thinking y'all mathematicians and y'all doing 1 + 1.
I don't think it's fun. I'd probably be in the strip club with these niggas' cousins.
Or them.
Or them. And they'll be mad at you.
And they gonna start OJ and y'all. What you say on your podcast?
Oh, I go nice and early. These killers got to be punctual to get with me. See, y'all got to do the little things. It ain't just about busting your gun with me, buddy.
To Brooklyn drill rappers, in a gang imbroglio that regrettably resulted in the untimely demise of one individual, and the grievous injury of 6 others in the annus horribilis of 2020. In the hallowed halls of his podcast, Joe Budden, with a discerning eye and a tongue sharpened by sadicity, castigated these rappers for purportedly reveling in the macabre aftermath of the murder at a swanky steak emporium, and even bestowing upon the shooter a chain emblazoned with the deceased's street appellation. He, in his infinite wisdom, questioned the cognitive faculties and logical acumen of these individuals, pondering whether they were intentionally courting the attention of the constabulary. Joe Budden's critique of the rappers is not without foundation. The alleged actions of Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow are not only disconcerting but also evince a callous disregard for the sanctity of human life, particularly in the wake of the tragic loss of life and the grievous injuries inflicted by the shooting. The act of celebrating violence and presenting the shooter with a chain bearing the moniker of the fallen victim's street name betrays a disquieting paucity of empathy and reverence for the inherent value of human existence. Furthermore, Joe Budden's juxtaposition of these rappers with drug peddlers and unscrupulous individuals who, over time, become complacent and incautious in their nefarious activities is an astute observation. Criminal behavior, much like any other behavior, can metamorphose into a habitual and normalized pattern, engendering a false sense of invincibility and imperviousness. However, this illusory cocoon of security often begets recklessness and blunders that ultimately precipitate their own downfall. Joe Budden's astute comparison of these rappers to fictional characters on television who engage in implausible actions and evade the long arm of the law is also worthy of note. Popular media frequently romanticize criminal conduct, portraying it in a manner that is not only unrealistic but also imbued with an air of glamour. This distorted portrayal of the consequences of one's actions can engender a warped perception, leading individuals to believe that they can elude the clutches of justice with impunity. However, as Joe Budden sagaciously points out, the police force is not to be trifled with. With the advent of cutting-edge technology and pervasive surveillance, law enforcement agencies possess the means to effortlessly track the movements and communications of individuals. This formidable capability renders it increasingly arduous for criminals to evade the long arm of justice, underscoring the paramount importance of assuming responsibility for one's actions. Moreover, the fact that Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow occupy the public limelight within the hip-hop industry adds an additional stratum of complexity to this already intricate situation. As purveyors of art and influencers, they bear a solemn duty to comport themselves in a manner that reflects positively not only upon their own personas but also upon the broader community. The act of celebrating violence and exhibiting a flagrant disregard for human life is not only morally reprehensible but also disseminates a pernicious message to their legion of fans and followers. From a communistic vantage point, one could postulate that the ubiquity of bellicosity within the hip-hop industry is emblematic of a larger societal malice rooted in systemic inequities. The agglomeration of lucre and clout in the appendages of a few, concomitant with the commodification of artistry and the exploitation of artists, can engender a vicious cycle of violence and despondency. Espousing a more egalitarian economic paradigm that accentuates equitable apportionment of resources and opportunities could potentially redress some of the fundamental factors that catalyze violence within the industry. On the flip side, an anarchistic outlook might underscore the exigency for decentralization and demolition of hierarchical edifices within the hip-hop industry. Anarchists contend that oppressive systems, such as the music industry's gatekeepers and power dynamics, stymie creativity and perpetuate violence. They propound a more horizontal and participatory modus operandi, where artists have greater self-determination and collective decision-making processes are prioritized. By impugning the extant power structures and fostering a culture of collaboration and mutual succor, it is envisaged that the industry could metamorphose into a more harmonious and inclusive space. However, it is imperative to note that both communism and anarchism are intricate ideologies with diverse explications and applications. Their practicability and efficacy in addressing the specific issues within the hip-hop industry are subjects of incessant polemics. It is crucial to approach these discourses with an open mind, considering multiple perspectives, and engaging in constructive dialogue to find solutions that promote peace, justice, and artistic freedom. It is also imperative to acknowledge that the incident involving Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow is not an isolated occurrence. The hip-hop industry has long been entwined with a lamentable tapestry of violence and gang activity, which has tragically exacted a heavy toll on numerous individuals. By holding individuals accountable for their actions and fostering a culture of respect and non-violence, we can contribute to the creation of a more salubrious and secure environment for all stakeholders within the industry. In summation, Joe Budden's cogent remarks regarding the news report chronicling the involvement of Sheff G and Sleepy Hallow in a gang altercation that resulted in the loss of one life and the grievous injury of 6 others are not only justified but also imperative. The alleged actions of these rappers are deeply disconcerting and betray a dearth of empathy and reverence for the sanctity of human life. By holding individuals accountable for their actions and cultivating a culture that extols respect and non-violence, we can engender an environment within the hip-hop industry that is both safer and more conducive to the flourishing of artistic expression. It is incumbent upon individuals in positions of influence and power, such as public figures within the hip-hop industry, to comport themselves in a manner that not only burnishes their own reputations but also uplifts the collective spirit of the wider community.